Resistant starch is one of the most compelling examples of how simple kitchen habits can quietly transform everyday comfort foods into tools for better metabolic and gut health. Rice and pasta are often criticized for their carbohydrate density, yet when they are cooked, cooled, and thoughtfully reheated, their starch structure changes in ways that make them behave less like fast sugar and more like functional fiber. From a positive analytical perspective, this is not about turning staples into diet food, but about revealing a hidden layer of nutritional flexibility that already exists within them. When rice or pasta is freshly cooked, most of its starch is fully gelatinized. Heat and water cause starch granules to swell and become easily accessible to digestive enzymes, which leads to rapid glucose release. As the food cools, however, some of this starch undergoes a process called retrogradation. The long glucose chains realign into tighter, more crystalline structures that resist digestion in the small intestine. This resistant starch passes into the colon, where it becomes fuel for beneficial gut bacteria. In practical terms, cooling turns a portion of digestible carbohydrate into something that behaves more like dietary fiber, even though the food looks and tastes largely the same. The gut health implications are especially encouraging. Resistant starch fermentation in the colon produces short-chain fatty acids, particularly butyrate, which supports the integrity of the gut lining, reduces inflammation, and may improve insulin sensitivity. This microbial activity is one reason people often feel more satisfied and experience steadier energy after eating cooled or reheated rice and pasta compared to freshly cooked versions. Over time, regular intake of resistant starch can help diversify the gut microbiome, supporting digestion and immune function. Cooling also lowers the effective glycemic load of these foods. While the total carbohydrate content does not change, the portion converted into resistant starch no longer contributes directly to blood glucose. Studies consistently show that cooled rice and pasta produce a flatter post-meal glucose curve than freshly cooked equivalents. Reheating does not undo this benefit. Most of the resistant starch formed during cooling remains intact even after warming, making leftovers nutritionally advantageous rather than inferior. In the kitchen, applying this knowledge is remarkably straightforward. After cooking rice or pasta, allow it to cool completely, then store it in the refrigerator for at least several hours or overnight. This cooling period is when retrogradation occurs most effectively. For reheating, gentle methods work best. Steaming, microwaving with a splash of water, or lightly sautéing in oil warms the food without breaking down resistant starch. Avoid overcooking during reheating, as excessive heat and moisture can reduce the benefit. Simple recipes make this approach both practical and enjoyable. Rice salads are a natural fit. Chilled rice tossed with vegetables, herbs, olive oil, and a splash of vinegar or citrus creates a meal that is refreshing, fiber-rich, and metabolically gentle. Adding beans, lentils, eggs, or fish further stabilizes blood sugar and boosts protein quality. Pasta salads offer similar advantages. Cooked and cooled pasta mixed with vegetables, olive oil, and a protein source becomes a slow-digesting, satisfying dish that works well for lunches and meal prep. The oil and acidity in these recipes not only improve flavor, but also help slow digestion even further. Reheated dishes can be just as effective. Fried rice made from day-old rice, or pasta lightly warmed and paired with vegetables and protein, retains resistant starch while providing the comfort of a hot meal. Interestingly, traditional cuisines often arrived at these practices intuitively, valuing leftovers and next-day dishes for their improved texture and flavor without knowing the biochemical reasons behind them. The expected benefits of regularly including cooled and reheated starches extend beyond blood sugar control. Many people notice improved satiety, reduced cravings between meals, and better digestive comfort. Over weeks, these effects can contribute to more stable energy levels and improved metabolic markers, especially when combined with a diet rich in whole foods and fiber. Resistant starch also appears to support mineral absorption indirectly by improving gut health and microbial balance. What makes this approach especially appealing is its simplicity. No special ingredients, supplements, or restrictions are required. It works with foods people already enjoy and often have leftovers of. Rather than viewing rice and pasta as nutritional liabilities, cooling and reheating reframes them as adaptable foods whose impact depends largely on preparation. This perspective empowers people to keep cultural staples and personal favorites on the table while quietly enhancing their health value. In this light, resistant starch is not a niche concept, but a reminder that food is dynamic. The same meal can nourish in different ways depending on time, temperature, and context. By embracing cooling as part of the cooking process, rice and pasta move from being foods to manage cautiously to foods that actively support gut health and metabolic resilience, proving that sometimes the most meaningful nutritional upgrades are also the simplest.